Okay, we're talking about practice plans, and before we even get into all of that though, let's talk about just a couple other things. How long should a practice be? Frankly, I think anything over 2 hours is way too much. Kids can only concentrate, people can only concentrate for about 90 minutes. So I never had a practice over 2 hours. Now at the beginning of the season, we did the whole 2 hours because you're teaching more and giving more rest because they're not in as good a shape, so therefore you have a go, and they need more rest to recover from that go. As the season progressed, we still taught, and I want them to learn new stuff every day, and reviewing everything every day, stuff every day. But because they're in good shape, they didn't need as much rest time. So you could shorten the rest between the goes and keep going and going harder. So that's one thing in terms of the length of practice. How hard should your practice be? Frankly, I never believed in breaking them. So hard, but not overly hard. And the most important thing there is I keep track of how many combative minutes are we wrestling every week. And I've learned from track and field and swimming, two sports that really rely on this heavily, how much can you advance each week? How much can you add each week and still keep going and not break down? And especially in track, I've learned this, you can add about 10% of your weekly average. So if you track how many minutes you're wrestling in a week, how many live combat minutes you're wrestling in a week, and add 10% to that, by the end of the season, you've doubled or tripled how much combat you're doing during practice. And that's the only one I tracked. I didn't track how much we drilled or how long we were in the room, but how much combative time is in there, and then slowly add that. And so that's what got the guys in better shape, okay? Now, when you wrestle, there's three things to consider. You got technical skill, athletic skill, and shape. And wherever possible, you want to beat your opponent on technical stuff. If you can beat him on technique, beat him on technique. If he's better than you on technique, then you'd better bring in your athletic ability. And so you got athletic ability that can trump technique. But if he's better with you in technique and he's better with you in athletic ability, the one that trumps all of those is shape. Because if you're in better shape and they are tired, they can't do anything anymore. So your practices need to be designed about adding better technique, using that athletic ability that you have, and then making sure that because you've done a lot of wrestling and because you've been able to add 10% a week, you're in the best shape that you can possibly be in, and that may be the factor in your matches too. So just a couple things to consider as we get into this practice planning.